Hey guys, back with another one. So I did an early live today at 11 a.m. and I had recapped a little bit about what we were going to speak about regarding the incident that happened with Blueface. Now, I just want to let you know a lot of people thought that this incident perhaps probably happened when it was hitting the airway yesterday, but it did not happen on that day. Which would have been around March 10th, 11th, because we all heard it for the first time, most of us, yesterday. It actually happened around the 26th or the 27th of February. I believe, in my opinion, that it started to slowly hit social media because there are channels of people who used to be incarcerated. They are rehabilitated. Shout out to them, who have built social media platforms and they talk about this sort of stuff. They may have been gang affiliated or done some unaliving, murks, whatever you want to call it. They definitely gang associated, affiliated, and they talked about it. Now, I shared a TikTok with a guy that somebody asked him about it, and when he further did his research and got a call back, it was confirmed that Blueface did, in fact, get beat up. Okay, this guy here, Dubs, which I will put his YouTube link in the top of the description box of this video if you would like to support him as well. There is his Cash App. But I'm going to read the About section for you so you can understand what kind of channel this is. He does not cover Blueface or ChriseanRock content. It fits into the type of content he puts on his channel. So this is the only reason that he brought Blueface up on his channel. So we're going to read about this gentleman here, and then we're going to listen to what he had to say. His video was uploaded 12 days ago, which was February 29th. He says in the video that the incident happened 2 days prior. So that was around the 26th, 27th that this happened to Blueface. It says, let me just say one more thing too. So that's why it all ties into the panic with Dre, because it hit the internet at full force as soon as it got to the commentators in this section that do commentary on the circuit, aka Blueface's circus. So this is why all of a sudden Dre came out the woodwork and he's panicking and he's blaming his mother. And this is probably how Blueface ended up in this situation in the beginning. It's gonna get me hurt, this, that, and the other. So it says, at a very young age, I made the decision to become a gang member. As a result of the decision, I spent 30 years of my life within the California justice system. I went through juvenile hall, group home, camp, California Youth Authority. Then at the age of 19, began a life sentence term within the California Department of Corrections, where I served over 24 years straight. That means no good time. With this channel, I try to share the insight I developed and my responsibility for incarceration. I also try to honor my victims as well as all victims of crime, while always being respectful to those still caught up in the criminal lifestyle and criminal thinking. It says, as someone who lived that life, he lived that life. I am a firm believer that education, introspection, insight, personal responsibility, and personal accountability are the keys to breaking the cycle of violence. And I want to just get into the video. He does say in the video, you will hear him now, he will say that it was 2 days ago that the incident happened. He uploaded it on the 29th of February, but the incident already had happened. And when you listen to his lingo, how he talks, clearly can see that he was in that lifestyle because he's very short with how he talks. He's not the chatty patty whack 100, an alleged gang member and still in a gang. He's a different kind of dude for me. But listen to what he has to say about the incident that happened. He's very careful how he even chooses his words. We'll leave in the description box up at the top this gentleman's YouTube channel. Please go over and support his channel and listen up to what he has to say.
All right, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Yesterday, I got a phone call from a good friend of mine, right? With a lot of connections in a lot of places. And he tells me, hey, did you hear about Blueface? I said, nah, why? What happened? Isn't he busted? He said, yeah, he just, he got moved on, right? And I was like, did he? You know, this isn't really my area, but I know a lot of people are interested in him and what's going on. People are saying he's PC, he's not. I don't know nothing about that. I know he's high profile, so I figured they would put him on like $1 Million Row or whatever they got. You know, they got something like that in the Alley County where they usually keep those guys away. And so that to me is irrelevant. That's somebody else's business. But I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. And I said, because I don't want to jump on it without it being accurate, right? And he's like, yeah. So then I reached out to someone that I know, kind of know, that is real good with Blueface. And I said, look, this is what I heard. I'm not trying to put no bogey there. And I didn't get a response. So I was like, that wasn't a no. It didn't happen, right? And then I got another call from somebody else that was like, hey, it's confirmed. And I'm not going to go into what I was told happened to him. This is more about he was touched, supposedly. He was touched up.
Now, I want you to listen to him, because if you notice how he talks, he's very selective with his words. Listen up to what he's going to say to you.
If it's true that from what I was told, what happened to him, if it's true that it happened and it was that serious, I don't know how bad his injuries were, but I was like, And I wonder if it has something to do with something else, but that really is irrelevant to me. This whole thing is this. You guys know me, and my whole get down is this, saying down in the streets can lead to some serious to you, whether you have to hurt somebody or you get hurt in the process.
Right.
You lose your freedom. You lose your ability to be who you could be. Yep. Right. And so we got this dude, a rapper, and I'm going to say the same thing to when it comes to him as I do when it comes to Swifty Blue and everybody else. When I talk about if you have potential to be something that can create generational wealth, or at least get you to where you never have to worry about nothing as far as materialistically, why don't you take advantage of that? If you really were in the hood, if you really were in the barrio, and you've got this talent that people enjoy, why do you get in that but try to keep one foot in the streets?
Right.
What is the appeal of it? Because that are really banging, if they have an opportunity to bring their family, their kids, whatever with them, they want to do that. I don't know really nothing about banging. Blueface. I'm not trying to diss him, but I just feel like maybe he never was in the streets that way. Right. And becoming a rapper, and not just Blueface, but a lot of these cats that come into the rap industry, the music industry, they mistake their fame and their money as street credibility. Yep. No, you gain street credibility in the streets, not in the recording studio. So to me, this is just one of those things where it's a cautionary tale.
Woo! Oh man, y'all better listen up. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. He has pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes. And I'm going to tell you something else. And that's because I know the streets. I've never been gang affiliated. I already shared my situation with somebody very near and dear to my heart that I carried for 9 months. So it's been around me. It's in my blood. You know what I'm saying? There's no school you go to. There's no book that you read. It's either in you or it's not. You can't be a pretender to something that you're not. You don't get no credentials in no studio. That's street life. There were things that were said on this phone conversation that he did have. And if you can read between the lines, or you got some street in you alongside with book smart, because I'm book smart and street smart. He was told off the rip He's not going to get into a chatty patty like Whack 100, okay? And Whack will tell it all, you know, if he gets to talking. He'll tell too much. But he's saying, without really sounding like a chatty patty, he's not that dude. I don't know who said he was what he said he was, but that's not it. That's not it. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let you listen to it.
You with a talent, take advantage of it, and get out of your situation better wherever you're at, wherever you're from. It's not that you're forgetting your homies, but just like, you know, that's really gangbanging, a guy that's really criming it,
Ain't
right?
talking about it.
Really out there living that outlaw or gangster life, whatever you want to call it. They know when they get busted, their homeboys ain't gonna look out for them. So why does somebody feel like if they become successful, they have to look out for those that they leave behind? Ain't that a backward way of thinking? Okay, all right, homie, so if I catch life, don't even trip, Holmes. I already know you got to do your thing. But then on the flip of that is, hey, just because you made some money don't mean you got to forget about us. What? When I gave up my freedom, you forgot about me?
That's what got him caught up.
People got to get out of that whole mentality, homie, of who owes what to who. You owe yourself and your family, period. So here we have, allegedly, Blueface in the Alley County Jail suffered some kind of attack and some injuries. I don't know if anybody else has said anything about it, but I'm sure people are going to look into it now. TMZ, where you at? But to me, it's just open your eyes, people. Jails, prisons, nobody in there give about who you think you are in your mind or who you were on the streets if it ain't in the streets.
I hope you heard that. Nobody cares if it wasn't in the streets. And he's not about that life. He's repping that he's a Crip. You cannot rep your something you ain't never worked the set. You ain't never put no street work in the streets. There's people that have put work in the street, and it's like you're playing in their face and disrespecting their name. And this family, because, you know, we know that's not their real family, you are disrespecting them. So now you in the lion's den with the lions, and they're about to eat you alive because there's no way you can run in jail. So that was just, he was setting himself up bad. He promoted this rapper Crip life that he never lived. His mother, I will give Carlissa credit for this, had said, my son ain't no banger. Everyone thought she was bugging, but she was telling the truth. Those are the things that mothers are supposed to say when they know that their son has too much to live for and can make possibly too much money to be even trying to label themselves that, because if they was really living that life, they wouldn't even be talking about it. They would be being about it. Blueface ain't busting no grape in a fruit fight.
A rapper, a singer, an actor, you are not the tough guy that your music might make you seem you are. But you get around real tough guys, and I said this to Swifty Blue, and I always try to be fair across the board, eh? When you make music about being the baddest, and then you get behind some walls,
people gonna try you.
Them bad men are really in there, they want to know. You're talking about they do.
In real life.
See, you're in a studio talking over music, talking over beats, singing or talking over beats, talking about what they do. They're not getting the money you're getting. You're profiting off of them. Then you get behind the walls. So just, you know, anybody who's in the industry, remember that. And don't get me wrong, there are dudes that are really with the business that record.
But he's not one of them.
And they usually wind up in jail because those that are really with it, the music don't mean nothing. But just remember, you're on your own. Like the whole Chito Ranas thing. He felt like everybody forgot about him. Nah, that's the way they do everybody. Supposedly he's getting out soon and he's on OTR Records and him and Lefty are going to do their thing together. Cool. Hopefully this last little, I can't call it a stretch. It's not a stretch, but hopefully this last taste of incarceration got Chito Rana's mind right. I would hope that whatever happened or didn't happen to Blueface, 2 nights ago now? Hopefully that taught him a lesson. That's allowing him to put things in perspective.
So let me make this clear. This video was uploaded on February 29th. That incident happened 2 days before he decided to come on his channel, because he does not cover nothing about Blueface. It only was on his channel because it relates to prison life. He's in prison, Blueface, and gang activity. That's why he put it on his channel. He made it clear, but like I said, he's short with his words. I was telling you about how my son is the same way. He's nothing like me. I wouldn't be a commentator if, didn't articulate myself. I'm a conversation piece. My son is very short with what he says. He's very quiet. He's not a chatty patty. So when I see somebody like Whack 100, I'm like, there's no way. He must have been in a gang a long time ago, but he's not in a gang. And people used to like try to check me in my comment section saying he's still in the gang. But that's the reason. So now that you understand why I used to say that, because my son was in one. And he paid a high cost of being in a gang. And even after the situation happened to him, being shot, he still was in the gang because that mentality still wasn't out of his mind. But after he picked up that second gun charge, knowing if he picks up another one, he's doing a straight 25 years, no good time. My son got himself a job, and he's a family man, and he's not in the gang like that. He's going to always be a gang member, but he goes and he sees his peoples over there, but he don't, bleep where he lays, period. He keeps that separate from his new life and his old life. So he's not going to get too into it, because I'm going to tell you, trust and believe, if I was to like get in contact with him off of social media, he still would even be short with me with it. But I'll say to him, and he'll definitely be like, okay, you feeling where I was coming from in this video. When he got the phone call about what happened to Blueface, he got touched, number one. Number two, he's not going to get into, I don't know why he would put himself in this situation type conversation that was said to him on the phone. I'm telling you how the conversation had to have went, because he's not even a Crip. He's not known to be no dude that put in no work in the streets. So he's got the studio and rapping, that false lifestyle, mixed up with dudes that are really living that life. And you're making money off of their reality. So when you go to prison and you got people who ain't got nothing to live for, because they might not be never getting out, or they're doing a stretch like 24 years or more like Dubs did, they're gonna see you, because it's like you're playing in their face. And y'all heard me say it on the video. It's like Blueface was playing in their face. And again, this information only came out because of these social media platforms of people who were incarcerated, and they got out. They're model citizens now in society, and they used to fast money. How can I get some good money the way I was getting it in the street, but I was getting locked up for it. And they decided to start a YouTube channel. I think that's being a genius. Or TikTok channel. And now they're spreading awareness and teaching people, educating people, and also telling you what it's like to be in prison and not to want to go.